Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the perfect one, AJ, and joining me, as always, is the man with the numbers, the sportsbook whisperer, the college basketball guru, daddy of the diamond, Mr. Noah Engelbretson. Noah, how the hell are you doing on this open weekend?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. It's been a couple days in a row waking up early as fuck to watch some golf,
Yeah.
but it's been some great golf. It was an exciting tournament. So, I'm doing great. Been a great weekend so far.
Dude, absolutely and honestly worth every single moment that I was up too late or awake too early in order to catch the golf. Some of the most exciting shots that I've seen, and honestly, Rory trying to come back, Cameron fighting it out. I mean, let's just dive right into it, Noah. Obviously, Cameron Smith with the epic mullet absolutely wins. Quote, unquote, it's a bad night to be a beer. I believe he said something about, like, the cup can hold 2 beers, and so he's going to have 20 of those cups. And shout out to him for being an absolute savage, and I believe he is tied now for the lowest score in majors, correct?
Something like that. I don't know. I will say what he said was not that it could hold 2 beers and how many he was going to have. He said, we're going to figure out how many beers this can hold.
Okay. My bad. Must have been a bad quote. But, I mean, shout out to Cameron Smith. He played a hell of a tournament. Really turned it up in the last 2 days. I mean, Noah, what are your takeaways from this? Do you think that he is going to, really show up the rest of this tournament? I mean, the rest of the tour and maybe turn his whole season around? Or do you think he's going to be just a nice sleeper for next year?
Well, I don't know that. I don't think you can say turn his season around. He's been playing pretty phenomenal golf for the most part this year. Notching his first ever major in his belt. So congrats to him, to the Aussie. Please get a fucking haircut. That's all I'm asking.
Dude, it's a good mullet.
No, it's not, AJ, and I'm not a mullet hater. You know that.
I know you're
like
not. You had a good
mullet.
one. He has a solid one too, bro. I won't even stand for this type of blasphemy. What are we talking about?
Oh, God, his hair is so ratty. And the blonde mustache is the worst thing for me.
Okay, shave the stash, I will say.
That you can't even tell he has a mustache until you hit him from a side angle. Like the straight on, you can't even see it, and then you hit the side angle. But like, dude just needs to. I don't know, but that doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with his play on the course. That's just me personally. Oh God, I hate his hair and I hate his mustache. But yeah, a phenomenal round today. Absolutely amazing back nine. He got hot as. Man, he got hot as a hibachi grill there on the back nine.
Shit. Like,
yes,
he was.
he was going crazy, just ripping off birdie after birdie after birdie after birdie.
Yeah.
Rory McIlroy finishing with 18 two-putts. He two-putted every single hole today.
And that was
no bogeys.
No
bogeys, 2 birdies, but 18 two-putts. Couldn't get any of those putts to fall.
And I do want to say something on that because watching him play, and a lot of those 2 putts, they were long putts. Like it wasn't like it was a short 2 putt that it rimmed out or something. But don't get me wrong, if you're trying to win a major, you cannot be 2-putting on the last day. I don't give a shit, especially when Cameron Smith is having literally a record day. I mean, and that was one.
You can 2-putt. You can 2-putt. You just can't 2-putt every single fucking hole. Like here's the thing. Rory gets 2 of those 18 putts. So his first putt on each hole, he gets 2 of those to fall out of 18. That's 1 out of 9.
Yeah,
that's a little, barely over 10%. If Rory's 12% better at putting today, he's walking away with the win.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. No ifs, ands, or buts. I don't understand it, and that does lead to one other storyline that does kind of come out of this majors. This, at least in my memory, and we all know my memory's bad, but this is one of the few times, especially in the last couple of years, he's come close to winning a major, but just really hasn't been able to send it home. I mean, I like to say CP3 is allergic to rings, and that's why the Suns can't get one to save their life on top of the Kardashian curse. But all of that to the side, I mean, does Rory not have it to win a major anymore?
I mean, I don't know. He hasn't won since, what was it, 2014 was his last major win?
I think so, yeah.
And now after today, he's got I want to say 8 or 9 top 5 finishes in
Which
majors.
is incredible.
He's got
Don't want to take that away. That's incredible.
this his 17th top 10 finish since he last won a major about almost 8 years ago now.
Jesus.
But like, it's not like he hasn't been playing good golf. Like, that's the craziest thing about that, right? Is like he's routinely finishing top 5, top 10 in most of the majors. I think he's been top 10 every single major this year, all out of all of them. Every single major he's finished top 10, top 5 in like 2 or 3 out of the 4 of them, and he just can't win. He just can't figure out how to win. He's becoming notorious for choking away leads. You know, he's always near the top of the leaderboard, but Rory just can't win.
He can't. He just cannot. I don't know what it is about him, because this is, I've been watching the majors a lot more closely lately, and I always see him up there, and he's playing great rounds. Like, he's playing great golf, but there is something there when he gets to the last day and he is within killing distance. He cannot go in for the kill. I don't know what it is about his psyche. I don't know if the lights get a little too bright for him. I would love to see Rory win one. I would love to see him win the next 7 majors. Honest to God, I love the way he plays golf. I love his personality. The guy's a superstar. He's a stud. But if you don't have that killer mentality, I don't give a shit what sport we're talking about, you're not going to win the big ones. It's simple as that. That's the issue the Cardinals are going to have this year with Kyler Murray. Can't get out of his own head and win the big one. And that's, I mean, Rory, if we want to even go that far, he's had the yips since 2014, since his last major. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, and God, it's just he's been so good for so long, but he just, like, for some reason, winning is like the one thing that he struggles with. Like, top 5 finishes, oh, for sure. Rory loves finishing top 5, loves finishing top 10. He hates winning. I don't know what it is, but just that first place is too scary for him. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll figure it out again. Maybe he won't. We'll find out.
It would be good for golf, especially with the metamorphosis golf is going through right now, for him to figure it out. It would be really good for the PGA, because he's obviously kind of their spokesperson right now. He is kind of the face of the PGA, while Tiger's away just playing majors and stuff, which he's a great face to have for the league. However, if he's not winning, it doesn't really fucking matter.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. But sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, with golf, pivoting into the look of the FedEx Cup standings here after this, Cameron Smith taking a 5-spot jump, moving up from, and this isn't official yet, but this should be official. The rounds are all over, so the scoring will fall in line with this. Cameron Smith jumping 5 spots from number 7 all the way up to number 2, behind Scotty Scheffler, still over 1,200 points behind Scheffler. Burns falling to 3, Schauffele falling 1 spot to 4, Rory falling 1 spot to 5, Cantley falling 1 spot to 6, JT falling 1 spot to 7, Hideki Matsuyama staying at number 8, Will Zalatoris moving up 1 spot from number 10 to number 9, Matthew Fitzpatrick moving up from 11 to 10, and Max Homa falling out of that top 10, which is the biggest thing, falling down to 11 here. Cameron Young, after his round, moved up from 18 to 13, so he's within striking distance with only a couple events left in the year. Rahm falling to 14, Billy Horschel falling to 15, and Victor Hovland moving up from 20 to 16. That's kind of all the notables there. Yeah. So it'll be interesting here to see who's participating in what events and who's going to sneak in. Obviously, next week's event, the 3M Open, I will be at that for at least 1, if not 2 or 3 days. That is up here in Minnesota, and Hideki Matsuyama, the biggest name participating in that. Other notable names aside from Hideki, I think we have Sung Jae Im, Tony Finau, Sahith Theegala. Not a whole lot of big names, but the fact that Hideki is participating in this, 300 points on the line, he could move himself up from 8th if he wins that. He could, let's see. Yeah, he could move himself all the way up into 5th and surpass Rory if he gets first place in this 3M Open next weekend. So something to keep an eye on. Obviously, Hideki should be the favorite in that event, would be my guess. If he's not, I don't know what the hell's going on. But, hey, I'll be there at least one day, if not two, maybe even 3. Might have a little live coverage for us, a little Degen live coverage of the 3M Open.
That'd be lit, dude. Please and thank you. We will obviously be covering that tour, that event, since you're going to be there, Noah. We're going to have to cover it. We'll get the lines and everything. We'll give you the best bets and everything later this week on Degenerate Takes. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to stay up to date with all of our golf content. With that being said, Noah, do you have anything else about the Open you want to talk about before we move on?
I mean, course, we were talking about whether the conditions were going to be a factor, and holy fuck, it was about as nice of conditions as you could have asked for the entire week. And that's why we saw these scores as low as they were. So
yeah, and the courses, don't get me wrong, the course still played like a typical English course. It was very dry still, and those bunkers were hell, but the outside weather factors obviously not being a factor led to a really good weekend of golf. And shout out to Cameron Smith for doing the whole thing. I mean, shout out. Congrats, bro. With that being said, Noah, I got to say, this is the next thing we're going to talk about has to be one of my favorite days in sports. All right, because it's just a bunch of guys being dudes crushing fucking dingers, bro. And of course, I'm talking about the Home Run Derby coming live Monday at 5 o'clock on the West Coast. So that's got to be like 8 o'clock on the East Coast. It's a big one. Coming from L.A., they're playing in that shitty stadium the Dodgers play in. And so, I mean, Noah, we obviously got to cover it a little bit. Let's go into the lines for a minute. Pete Alonso seems to be the favorite at plus 190. Kyle Schwarber plus 350. I mean, and then you just keep going down all the way. Juan Soto. Did you hear about the Juan Soto thing?
The little beef between him and whoever else here recently.
No. The contract stuff.
Oh yeah, turning down like 440 million.
Over like, what was that, 10 years or 15 years?
It was a 15-year, $440 million. And keep in mind, Juan Soto, he's, 24, maybe 25 years old. So Washington, who, they're not on the right track, so I don't blame him. He'll get paid the same annual by somebody else, and then he's not stuck in Washington for fucking 15 years.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, he's a young guy. He definitely wants to go out there and get a second contract probably. But regardless of that, he's sitting at plus 650 here to win the whole thing. Albert Pujols all the way at the bottom kind of as an honorary guy there at plus 2,400 since it is his last round.
I have a bone to pick with that, AJ.
What's your bone to pick with that, bro? Come on.
I don't have a problem with Pujols and Miguel Cabrera being put in the the commissioner or whatever, put in the All-Star game. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to have any gripes about that. Why the fuck is 47-year-old Pujols in the home run derby?
Bro,
like he's going to hit
fingers.
He's going to hit like 4 home runs in the derby.
Shot.
Okay, so what? He's the 8 seed going against Schwarber. There's no fucking chance. I don't know what the line is for Schwarber to beat Pujols in the first round, but I would throw my entire fucking life savings on that because there's no way, unless Schwarber fucking pulls an oblique or something like an hour before, that Pujols is winning that.
I kind of agree with you there. I'm going to throw some money on it, honestly, because it's one of those things where I love fairy tales, and this just seems like a fairy tale ending for Pujols winning one more. But besides that, no, I got to be honest with you. I'm going with Juan Soto here at plus 650 and throwing some on Kyle Schwarber, bro.
First round, Schwarber versus Pujols. Schwarber's only minus 265. I was expecting like minus 800, 900, 1,000. Only minus 265. That blows my mind. The public must be betting Albert Pujols at that plus money to get that to stay where it is.
Absolutely.
Holy shit. I'm not even kidding. I would fucking throw my life savings on the fact that Schwarber hits. Well, maybe not my full life savings, but 80% of it. If it was Pete Alonso against Albert Pujols, I would throw the entire life savings. I'm I'm massively on Pete Alonso to win the whole thing. I think he three-peats this. Juan Soto's the only other guy who I'm a little concerned about because Juan Soto. I mean, great juice on the Juan Soto line if you want to take that.
Great juice on that Juan Soto line at plus 650. I mean, that's a solid line right there.
He hits monster dingers. I love Juan Soto.
I'm with you on that, Noah. Now, I got to ask, because I love my overs and unders, 494.5, longest home run in the Derby. I really feel like we might see a good 500, 525 here, bro.
I've been thinking actually way more than I should have about like all these home run distance things for the home run derby. So last year, Juan Soto had the longest home run at 520 feet.
Okay. Whoops.
Keep in mind the baseballs are a little bit more dead this year than they have been. So assuming they're using the same baseballs that they play in the games with, which there's no guarantee. It's the fucking MLB. They might have juiced up baseballs for the home run derby. I don't fucking know. I think it's gonna. I think the longest is gonna be less than the 520 that Soto hit last year.
Okay.
But what did you say the line was at?
494.5 minus 115 both ways.
There's gonna be one or two home runs that rip over 500.
Easily.
I think 1 to 3. I think it's gonna be a lot less than usual. Obviously, that line is reflective of how the baseballs have been, modified. I still think 1 to 3 home runs go over 500. So I'm taking that over easy on that. Somebody's going to jack one 505, 510, something like that.
I'm with you on that. And Noah, to wrap up the All-Star weekend, obviously we have the All-Star game, AL versus NL. AL are the Dogs at plus 100, plus 1.5 at minus 210. Over 8 at plus 100 for an All-Star game? Wow.
Oh, it's going... Bro, check the history. Over. It's going under. They all go under.
What?
Look back. There's been probably one out of the last 6 or 7 All-Star games has gone over 8 runs.
Come on, seriously?
Bro, they're because you have a fresh pitcher every inning, and you have all these 2 ERA pitchers coming in and only throwing 1 to 2 innings. The All-Star games always hit the under. And the AL's won 8 or 9 All-Star games in a row. How are they plus money? The AL's going to win again. And until the streak breaks, I'm going to keep betting the AL because I went back and looked. And there's been these stretches throughout MLB history where you have a bunch of years in a row that the NL wins the All-Star game or the AL. And the AL has just been winning. It's 7, 8, or 9 years in a row the AL has won the All-Star game. So I'm taking the American League on the plus 100 to win that. And give me the under easy, man. And these especially with the balls being more dead this year, the pitchers are fucking fantastic this year. I would go as far as maybe taking an alternate line under 5.5 for the All-Star game. It's going to be low scoring. It's going to be real low scoring.
Alternate line under what, 5.5?
5.5, 6.5. Whatever you can get it at. I'd be more comfortable with the 6.5 than a 5.5, but I'd also go, like I said, I'd go as far as taking under 5.5 because
under 6.5.
I don't think.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of runs, and the American League's going to take it home again.
Under 6.5 is plus 150.
Do you see 5.5 up there?
220.
Plus
220.
I love that. I love that juice. I love that 220
That's
juice under 5.5. I mean, fuck it. Let's get a 2-3 game.
Then
or a 3-1 game or something like that.
I love it, dude. I love it. I'm also going to ride the American League. I hate it. If the NL goes to plus 1.5, I'll take the plus 1.5 because I don't think this game's going to be a blowout by any means. But give me the under as well if we're going with that type of a stat. I'm going to stick with the under 8.5. I might drop it to 7 at plus 125, but I'm chilling there at 8. But yeah, All-Star game's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait, obviously. Can't wait, dude. I love the All-Star break, bro. The All-Star break for the MLB is one of my favorites, if not my favorite.
Yes, sir. It's fun.
It's so much fun. So much more fun than any of these other ones.
Yeah, like, you know, like you got NFL, and this is one thing about the NFL is like the Pro Bowl fucking sucks. Nobody cares.
Sucks.
All-Star weekend for the MLB is, I mean, if you're comparing like the All-Star weekends to the actual like excitement of the sport,
Yeah.
yeah, the MLB is great. NBA has been, but hasn't the last couple years. You know, the dunk contest and all that used to be really fun. It hasn't been in a couple of years. Hopefully it'll get back to that. But yeah, Pro Bowl sucks. Although I do really love the like, well, I don't know. I love it, but I also hate it, the 3-on-3 in the NHL, because and you have all these like 10-8 games because it's just 3v3 the entire time. But yeah, All-Star Weekend's great in the MLB. We love the Home Run Derby. Love that I can fucking bet on it too.
Yes. That's what we really love about it.
The All-Star Game, everything. It's going to be a good time. I'll be definitely tuned in. I can't think of anything else I'll be paying attention to.
Me either.
Monday or Tuesday. So
honest to God, just waiting for that. But Noah, with that being said, do you have anything else for the Degens before we call it a day?
Hey, I mean, MLB draft tonight. I don't really know shit about fuck with,
nope, me either.
With that.
Well, you're not really going to see any of these guys until 5-6 years down the line. So unless there's one really big stud, but I haven't really, like in the scouting reports, I haven't really seen that yet.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I'll read the reports afterwards because I don't know anything about more than about maybe 20, 25 players total that are in this draft. There's what, like 70 fucking rounds to the MLB draft.
600 people will be drafted this today.
All right. Well, we'll do the post draft research and
give you our
keep
top
in mind.
2.
Yeah. Keep you in touch with all the notables.
Well, yeah, I got to say, can't wait for the All-Star break. And honestly, so stoked that my Degen merch finally came in on Friday. Been rocking it ever since. I got the other Degen shirt, too. My hat should be in tomorrow. If you want to buy a shirt, go ahead. See it in the description down below. We got all of our lines. We're going to have new stuff coming out next month. Going to be doing a monthly type drop type thing. You know, keep it fresh and everything, Noah. It's gotta love it. So please go down, buy a shirt, and also like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, please help us fight that YouTube algorithm. Follow us on the Twitter at DGenTakes, at Brofict1, at N_Engelbretson, and Engel Money Train for all the best bets and everything like that. Follow us on TikTok too, Degenerate Takes 69, because we're posting shit on there again. So fuck it, you might as well. With that being said, I've been the Brofict1 AJ. That's been the Money Train Noah, and we'll see you next time on Degenerate Takes.